Hey friends, welcome to the Wins Life Hacks and Life Coaching channel. I'm your certified life coach, Casey Turton. Some of you may remember a 1954 Hollywood classic called On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando, who plays a broken down, beat up heavyweight boxer named Terry Malloy. And Terry's sitting in the back of a car ruminating with his brother about his life and the misery he encountered. And he says in a classic, iconic line, "I could have been a contender." And if you've never seen it, I put a link to another YouTube video below in the comments. So let's take some time today to talk about what we could have been versus who we are. Let's start by understanding, where does this come from, this desire to compare ourselves to what we were to what we are now, and understand how it creates issues. It's human nature just to seek different paths and outcomes in our life, but when it becomes a habit, when you can't let go of it, it can rob you of the joy and satisfaction of your life and being able to live in the present moment. Do you relate to that? I know I do. So let's dive a little deeper. And by the way, of course, if any of this resonates with you, please like and subscribe to Wins Life Hacks and Life Coaching channel. I truly appreciate all my viewers and subscribers and welcome any feedback. So let's think about this impact on your life. Constant comparison of what you could have been versus what you are now can lead to inadequacy, anxiety, depression, and takes you away from your current set of accomplishments, no matter how small or large they are. So here's the plan for dealing with them, and I hope you've stuck with me this far. Step one in getting rid of these ruminations, or even if you can't get rid of them, how to handle them, is accept that the past is gone. As I've told a lot of people in my coaching, the past only exists in your head, and you can manage it and control it. Embrace yourself for who you are now, knowing that every choice that you have made has led you to where you are. Now, that doesn't necessarily you are in a good place compared to where you want to be, but if you can take the time to think about your life and think about the positive effects that you've had on yourself and others, and perhaps even start to journal them, you're on the first step to dealing with this. Step two involves creating a gratitude mindset. Now listen, I understand, because I've been there. When times are tough, financially, emotionally, you're going through a divorce, lose your job, it's really hard to come up with a list of things to be grateful for, but they're there if you look for them. I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful that I wake up every morning. That's pretty basic, isn't it? I'm grateful I have friends. I'm grateful that my sons and daughters, if the case might be that, have a good relationship with me. I'm grateful my dog loves me. Drill down and find things that you can be grateful for. Make a list. Capture them. Don't just think about them and let them go in one ear and out the other. Develop that gratitude mindset. Now, we talk about affirmations, and those are, positive expressions that we can develop for ourselves. But there's a trick to affirmations. A lot of folks will blow sunshine up your nose, as they say, with really glorious things about it's a wonderful day and a wonderful life, or you're the greatest. And if you don't believe you're the greatest, and if you don't believe it's a wonderful day, that affirmation is going to backfire on you. So affirm yourself for, I balanced my checkbook this month. That's great. I found a new recipe to eat better. That's great. That's a great affirmation. I affirm that I have struggled and gotten through my conflicts. That's a great affirmation, okay? So the pearly white gates aren't necessarily everything that you need to affirm yourself. Put your feet down on the ground and affirm yourself for practical things that you can do. And you'll notice that if you do that, it'll escalate, and pretty soon you'll be affirming yourself for some pretty wonderful things. And the thoughts about what you could have been will start to disappear in your mind. So this is step three in dealing with the what I could have been. And that is to set realistic goals. Just like in the previous part, we talked about setting realistic affirmations for yourself. Set realistic goals. If you're really struggling with that gap between who you could have been, you think, and who you are, you think, if there's a gap in the middle of that, set goals on how, step by step, you're going to close that gap and how long that's going to take. It is a non-linear journey, you know. Life is not a straight line from point A to point B. So say to yourself, I want to work on these 3 steps, and I'm going to do it in progress like this. This month, I'll work on affirmations. Next month, I'm going to work on my positive attitude. Whatever works for you. There's no boilerplate, process to deal with this, what I used to be compared to what I am now. Okay, let's get ready to wrap this up. You know, I am a certified life coach and master certified business coach, but there's times when you may need professional help if you're suffering from deep anxiety, deep depression, major unhappiness about your life, or you're going through a life change that's pretty tough. So I urge you to seek a mental health therapist, family physician, priest, counselor, whatever works best with your personality. So it goes without saying that life is a journey. But when you can stop hanging on to that feeling of what you could have been or what other people tell you you could be, you're going to grow into a more positive person. And one step again is to stay in the present and appreciate with gratitude what you have. So, if this episode has resonated with you, please like and subscribe. Remember, the Wins Life Hacks and Life Coaching channel is always full of down-to-earth, positive content to help you grow. So, I'll see you in the future.